What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Fight Geeks podcast. We're here for episode 64.
64?
And if you see us veering this way, we're watching a Jake Paul fight in 2024, folks. The door is closed. Jake Paul fight it's up next.
Someone's crying?
Something small on Jake Paul. Now it's kind of, we're in Jake Paul's career where he's fighting, people you've never heard of, which
a standard in the boxing.
Which this is the thing with Jake Paul. He gets hated on for fighting MMA fighters. He gets hated on for fighting real boxers. So there's really no common ground for Jake Paul at the moment to, have the haters join his side. Like, Jake Paul haters will just be Jake Paul haters forever, I think. So
I agree.
So, yeah, we're going to be watching Jake Paul's fight, kind of making this podcast. But that's not the point of this podcast. The point of this podcast is UFC 299 is next week. And
Yes,
we got
is.
predictions for y'all.
Yes, it is.
And like we were saying last podcast, 298, 299, and 300, this is the best of the best on the roster.
The best of the lineup, the best everything.
Like, the best of the, honestly, the best of the best in the world are on these three cards.
I agree.
And yeah, we're in for a treat. So we got March and then April's UFC 300. So, is that cat still in here?
Nope.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna be going through some predictions for y'all. Obviously, we're not gonna do every prelim as a prediction, but we're gonna do notable prelims and obviously the main card. So
Notable prelims.
you know what I mean?
Basically, guys, the
You know what I mean?
fighters that everyone knows.
Like Pedro Munoz versus Kyler Phillips. Like, we'll be rooting for Pedro Munoz. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because
we don't know
just
the other
because, even though he's an underdog, so we might have to throw $1 on him or something. Gamrot versus Rafael dos Anjos. Okay, this is an early fight on the prelims. Rafael dos Anjos, he's been in the game for forever, it seems.
He's notably known for pulling out of the counterfight with a broken toe, but
yeah, but it's
now he's fighting Gamrot like fucking 13.
I mean,
years later.
this is kind of crazy though, because Gamrot, like we were, I think a couple podcasts back, we were like, how is he number 6 in lightweight? So Rafael dos Anjos number 11 lightweight. If he gets this W, like, Rafael dos Anjos is right back in it. You feel me?
So he went from fighting Fazias to number 11.
I think because didn't Gamrot fight Jalen Turner, like, that was almost a year ago now. So he got the Jalen Turner win and the Fiziev win and just kind of pushed him up.
No, the Fiziev TKO lucky win. But go on. Anyway, I'm going to rock with Gamrot just because he's younger and he's not even a bad fighter.
I'm going to rock with Gamrot because he's from Poland.
He's just...
And we took the walk.
I just don't like how he reacted after his last win, quote-unquote win. But now he's getting fed RDA.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Gamrot. I think Rafael dos Anjos, like, obviously if you say that name, you're going to, turn some heads because it's a notable name in the MMA space, but it's not his time anymore. You feel me? He's just kind of out here being active. He has, like, the most time in the octagon. Him and, like, Clay Guida always just beat each other's records, it seems, every other fight. Something like that. So the prelim headliner is actually very interesting. Curtis Blades versus Jailton Almeida. Curtis Blades, he's coming off that Pavlovich knockout. That was pretty tough.
Where's this fight?
This is in
prelim?
Miami.
Prelim still?
Yeah, this is the final prelim. Curtis Blades, Jailton Almeida.
Ooh.
We did see Jailton Almeida, a little bit of a snooze fest in the last fight with Derek Lewis. But, I mean, if this fight can stay on the feet, this is going to be a good one. You know what I mean? Obviously, I don't think Curtis Blades, he's not the Curtis Blades that he once was. You know what I mean?
I agree.
He's just, I feel like the heavyweight division's honestly a little bit weak in the UFC. Like Curtis Blades is the number 5 dude, and you might talk to somebody, they might not even know who the guy is. You feel me?
That's very true.
So I think that I'm gonna go with Jailton Almeida here, solely for the fact that I think he's gonna eventually get a title shot. I think that's what his path is at this moment. I don't know. What do you think about Jailton Almeida?
I think he's a good fighter. He's not a flashy.
I think just his dual
fighter. He's undefeated though, and
he's defeated.
I thought he was undefeated.
No, he's lost twice, but he has.
Wait,
he's never won by decision.
Is he the is
wait.
number one by decision?
Well, UFC always has their stats wrong. I think he beat Derek Lewis by decision.
Yeah.
But this is pretty notable. He's got 14 first-round finishes according to UFC.com. UFC.com, I'm calling you out because anytime I try to make a post trying to get some stats, I have to always fact-check it on ESPN MMA. And, like, the records are wrong from website to website. And it's like, yo. Like, how, and then if I make the post, people are like, that's not his record. And I'm like, yo, this is what UFC.com is saying, and it's wrong. So, but Jailton Almeida, he's a menace. He's a beast, and I'm going to rock with him.
Me too.
And
I don't know why
that brings us to the main card. This fight card is stacked. It's honestly stacked. And it starts off with Peter Yan versus Song Yadong. This fight was supposed to happen, but it's finally happening.
I like to see Yan still being a heavy favorite. Fans,
yeah, as he should. You know what I mean? It's not like he got finished.
All his losses are
right. He didn't get finished by Merab or
O'Malley or Aljo, but all his losses are looking so good. Look at all his losses.
Yeah, decision.
Aljo,
he lost by unanimous
the best
decision.
bantamweight of all time. O'Malley, the current
split
champion.
decision losses.
Rob the next title challenger. Those are his losses.
You know what I mean? Like one flip in the judging, and he's the champion right now. Like one point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? One different point, and he's the champion. So I'm gonna go with Peter Yan, even though I do like Song Yadong a lot. You know, I think that, like we were kind of talking about Ilia Topuria, obviously it's a way different scale, but he's gonna be in the bantamweight division for a while. He's super young. He's in his early 20s. So I'm gonna be going with Peter Yan though, and
yeah,
I don't know what episode it was, but back in last year, this man right here, Peter Yan, champion 2024.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Oh
so we'll have to dig that up if he ever gets that belt back, or when he gets that belt back.
I did say 2024 Peter Yan title shot. Wow.
That brings us to Gilbert Burns. It's been a while, man. It's almost been a year. That was May when he lost to Bilal.
Guys,
he's fighting Jack Della Maddalena. Jack Della Maddalena, they're giving a big step up in competition here.
So what happened was Gilbert Burns was fighting way too much.
Yeah, he fought what?
He fought back-to-back cards.
Weeks or cards?
Back-to-back cards. So he fought Bilal Muhammad, and regardless,
he got injured very early.
We hear that allegedly there was an injury early in the fight that caused him to not be able to pressure him like he would want to, or even compared to the fight that we saw with Hamzat that he had. That was a war.
Yeah. He was active and
So he was very active. He was fighting everybody, and then he got to Bilal Muhammad. He got stopped. So I don't know if it's a declining thing or if it was a too active thing, but he had war with Hamza. Not
submitted
necessarily
Magny
a
in
war
the
with
first.
Jorge Masvidal, but it was a dominating fight where he definitely used a lot of energy and then went on to a fight with Bilal.
I think I'm also gonna go with Burns solely for the fact that Jack Della Maddalena, right? Let me just check out this fight with Kevin Holland real quick because I know there was split decision against Kevin Holland. You feel me?
That's
again,
not good. That's not a good look.
I feel like seeing split decisions. He has his last two wins are by split decision, and I think he has a little bit too much hype. Obviously this can all backfire on me, but I'm gonna go with the man, Gilbert Burns.
Let's go, Gilbert.
So yeah, and then we have a new face in the UFC. If you're a PFL fan, you know him. But Michael Venom Page is in the UFC and he's making his debut next weekend. So
I really am happy.
But it's against Kevin Holland, man, one of my favorite fighters. So
honestly, there's no odds yet.
There's no odds on this fight yet.
Wait, that must mean the fight's not confirmed.
But Kevin Holland, I feel like he took a little break. We haven't seen him since.
He's not as active as he has been, but he's still active.
Yeah, he was super active in 2023. He fought 3 times.
Wait, go through that one.
Remember he knocked out Ponzinibbio. That was fire.
See, what's crazy is the Holland fight feels so recent, or that fight feels so recent. The Wonder Boy, and how many times did he fight since then? 0?
3.
He fought 3 more times after he fought Holland.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, he fought Ponzinibbio. Remember that knockout? He
knocked him out. Yeah.
Then he fought against Michael Chiesa, submitted him on UFC 291 over the summer.
Dude. So he was active as fuck, and then he just.
Then September 16th. What? I think this was what card was this? I don't remember. But yeah, he lost a split decision against Jack Della Maddalena. I don't think Kevin Holland is one of those one-hit wonder type of guys. Like he has a lot of hype around him, and I think he's gonna give a nice welcome to Michael Venom Page.
I think he's gonna give him. I think it's gonna be like.
I think it's gonna be a war.
I think it's gonna be vet versus vet. Michael Venom Page has a very good record. I believe he's only got less than 5 losses. Fought some of the best
saying he's 12, 21, and 2.
Yeah, so he's got less than 3 losses.
Kevin Holland has 10.
So yeah,
he doesn't really have a lot of stats.
He's got a really good
UFC.com.
record, guys, but he's also a Bellator fighter, and he has a lot of highlight reel knockouts. But he's also from Bellator, so this is going to be a welcome to UFC moment. And I think he could either show out, or Kevin Holland might be like, "This is what it's like rolling with the big dogs." But also,
yeah, legit.
Something we do have to mention is he is on the tail end of his career. He is 35 years old, I believe. I think Kevin Holland. How old's Kevin Holland?
I'm honestly not sure.
I'm not sure either, but Kevin Holland is definitely an OG of the game as well. You've seen he's had tons of fights. So both being on the tail end of their career, I think it's just gonna be a fun fight. I'm gonna say it's a welcome to UFC moment though.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a welcome to UFC moment because realistically, like
Paul's fighting. It's over, chat. Go on.
Like Michael Venom Page, right? He's fighting people in like the PFL, Bellator, or whatever, right? Like I feel like the top people in like those organizations are either equivalent with Kevin Holland or a step below
That's
him.
a hot take.
You know what I mean?
That's a hot take.
A step below
it.
even.
I like it.
Because
you said their best Bellator fighter is Kevin Holland?
Is anyone in Bellator submitting Michael Chiesa? I don't know. Probably. I don't know why I said that, but I did. Like, I don't know. I feel like people like Kevin Holland, you know, if they go to these other leagues, I think I could see them becoming a champion, if that makes sense. If I put it that way, it makes more sense. Like,
basically, guys, he's saying the best guy in Bellator doesn't compare to Kevin Holland. Hot take. Clip it. See what the comments are like.
I just have to say what I think.
Say it up front and make it a clip.
The best fighters in the PFL and Bellator lose to Kevin Holland, and that's why I'm rocking with him against Michael Venom Page.
Woo!
And that brings us to our spicy co-main event. I mean, no one really would have saw this coming until it was announced. So Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis, we saw him knock out Frivola, which was
steamroller for Frivola.
Crazy. And Poirier is coming off that head kick loss. He's taken
Dustin Poirier, I think
decent amount of time
I believe
off.
If I'm right, I believe he's been in the top 15 rankings for over a decade now.
Yeah, I think 2014.
So he's been in the top 10 for over a decade. One of the best, if not the best fighter to never hold a championship title.
Yep.
I'm not including the interim. And
just an overall solid
fighter.
dude. Solid fighter.
Never had a boring fight, and only fought names you know. Conor, Gaethje twice, Michael Johnson. He's fought everyone you know. Max Holloway. And I remember him saying after I believe it was before the Gaethje fight, he's like, I'm not going to take a fight that doesn't either like catch like is a name or like get or if it's not a title shot, because you know he's on the tail end of his career. He doesn't want to fight someone who doesn't bring a lot of noise, and I feel like Saint Denis is someone who doesn't bring a lot of noise. So I was interested to see Poirier take this fight, but that kind of further proves me that he's low-key hungry and he wants one more run at it. I think going out by Gaethje, someone who he thinks he's better than. He said it after the loss. He said, I think it's one of those times where you're the better mixed martial artist, but just get caught. I think he's hungry. That's why he accepted a fight against not a no-name, but definitely a name that he meant when
it's not a no-name, but to the casual fan, you have no clue who this guy is.
But when Poirier said, I'm not going to take fight against people who aren't really hot, Benice was part of that. But I think Poirier's going to win. I really do. I think he's got that dog in him, and I think he's going to come out and win, regardless of what I've said about him in the past.
So what
do you think?
I'm going to be rocking with Poirier. And, you know, there's always that kind of part of me that's like, okay, this guy's coming in here. Benoit Saint-Denis, he is the favorite. And let's look at this. Dustin Poirier is ranked number 3. Benoit Saint-Denis is ranked number 12, right? Benoit Saint-Denis wins this. He's right in line for a title shot.
How old is he? He is. But what the flip? How is he the favorite right now?
13-1. So I kind of want to just predict.
Wait, so
points.
I don't know what's
Benoit Saint-Denis, but
man.
I have to go with Dustin Poirier because listen, when we were watching, you know, the Conor fights, we were almost forced to not like Dustin Poirier for really no reason. Like he's a good fighter, you know what I mean? But being Conor fans, we had to root against Poirier. You know what I mean? And then it kind of like misconstrued my whole perception of him.
And then Conor being one of the biggest stars allows with a lot of Twitter finger counter fans who dig and get the worst stuff on Poirier, which ultimately made me hate Poirier even more. You know, the whole fake nice guy and all that thing. And
the first full nice card I watched was Poirier versus Conor too. Like, I was introduced to MMA rooting against Poirier.
Yeah.
But I kind of come to the realization, like, okay, he just loves to fight, and he will put on shows. I'm a guy who every night he fights. I'm
claiming I don't like Dustin Poirier because he's a fake nice guy, but look at Conor. Look at Conor. One of the has like a ton of allegations on him. Has a huge the bar fight where he punched an old dude in the face. So,
MGK
and I'm over here riding Conor like it's like he never did any of that. And I'm over here. Poirier's a fake nice guy. But speaking of that, Poirier is actually funny. A real quick story about Poirier after the Max Holloway fight when he beat him. Him being a fake nice guy, he had just like slapped him up, and Poirier's wife was like, "Where's Max? I want to thank him." And then he's like, "He's over there." That's all he had to say, right? He goes, "He's over there. He's busted up pretty bad."
So yeah, that's gonna be a great co-main event. Little side note. Oh no,
guys,
Jake
DAZN just crashed.
Jake Paul is about to fight. We're about to watch that while we predict the main event now. Sean O'Malley's back. We have a poster of him over there, and we're going to be rooting for him next Saturday night. He's fighting Chito Vera again. Tracking back to that first fight, obviously, you know, Sean O'Malley doesn't want to accept that as a loss. So I think that it's a perfect opportunity to whoop Chito's ass. And I think anything but a knockout is kind of disappointing by Sean O'Malley. I think if he wins by decision, it's like, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't be mad if he won by decision because Chito's durability is definitely something to speak of.
Yeah.
I also
and he showed it in that
would want to say that you don't want to sit there and trade with Chito either because Chito is known for losing most of his. Well, not known.
And he'll sneak in there and knock your ass out too.
He loses a lot of his fights, and then he'll end up finding the finish, like he thought, like he was gonna do it from the start. Like he doesn't care about losing. He knows he's gonna find the finish. That's also a scary fighter to be against. But O'Malley, I think he's too young, too quick. Definitely the crisper striker. You know, Chito's
confidence plays a role in this. You know what I mean? Like if you have any doubt that you're going to lose, you probably will.
And I think Chito was
And I think it's Sean O'Malley's.
He's a dog, but it's Sean O'Malley's night. Let's not forget he was teeing him up in that first fight too. I think O'Malley's going to be too quick for him. I'm interested to see the fight because there is always, like I said, if he doesn't knock him out and it gets to these later rounds, 3, 4, 5, I think Sean O'Malley could win the round, but it favors Chito more because Chito's just been analyzing all fight. When he caught Dominic Cruz with that kick, because Dominic Cruz is one of the weirdest like head movements of all time. When he caught him and like pre-fired it, that was phenomenal.
That was one of the best knockouts I've ever watched.
I don't know if he can make a read quite like that on O'Malley because O'Malley moves too much and switches stances a lot. I'd be impressed. I'm excited for the fight. I'm going O'Malley knockout. I think as well.
Yeah, I'm going O'Malley knockout. Like I said, I'm not expecting anything less than that, and I'm honestly, as much as I shouldn't be doing this, I'm already thinking about O'Malley versus Merab and how I'm low-key thinking that Merab is just going to be the champ, and it's just like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Dude, so I don't know if you saw the clip of Henry Cejudo and I think it was Marlon Morales. It was this. You remember when Henry Cejudo hurt him in the fight?
He fought Merab.
Well, he didn't hurt him when he stumbled Merab for like half a second. So basically, he stumbled Merab for half a second. It was a little 1, 2, and then like a left hook, but like not. It was kind of a hook / uppercut. Like came in from the side. Wasn't necessarily an uppercut, but it wasn't necessarily a hook. Okay. It was like one of these. But like if you put it right next to it and made the fighter a black shadow, you'd think it. You literally would think it was the exact same fight. The way he stumbled, the way he fell, the way he recovered, and I think you can't let someone like O'Malley touch you like that. You're gonna let an old, not how do I say this? Old, not prime Marlon Morales gonna rock you, and an old, not prime Henry Cejudo rock you. What is a 28-year-old O'Malley gonna do to you if you get caught? Yeah. Now I'm saying to only get caught once in a fight, that's pretty damn good. But I don't know.
I just kind of have this feeling like kind of the same way that I had the feeling of Topuria. Oh. You know. I can just see.
Don't take it. Stop. I can just talking about it.
I can just see Merab with his wig on.
Can we just enjoy it? Can we just enjoy Merab as champ or not? Fuck. Enjoy O'Malley.
It's coming. So
and we enjoyed.
It's inevitable. I just feel like it's inevitable at this point.
Can we agree that Topuria would be at least a more entertaining champ than Merab? Although Merab's not even necessarily not entertaining, but he's a
No, yeah, it's not like I don't like Topuria.
I don't. Yeah, I'm excited for the new wave, man. I mean, hey,
I just want there to be some steady
This is
champs,
awesome.
but it just seems like every fight is literally 50-50.
Especially, well, I think we're gonna
Every championship bout seems like
I
it's
think the greatest
50-50.
fighter is like an era behind. I don't think there's gonna be a greatest fighter of this generation. I think it's gonna be the next
gonna
one
be a
after.
bit.
Like the generation before, they have John Jones, they have GSP Anderson. We don't really have any. We have Connor. We have
Connor, Izzy, and Usman.
But like these guys, as great as they are, they're not even John Jones. And you could argue that's because the competition is a lot greater than it used to be. So, guys like Izzy and Connor, they're getting into more wars than John Jones did. John Jones was just elite for so long and killed everybody as to where fighters now we're getting into wars because the competition is so high. But I truly do think the next John Jones could be like 15, 16 in his amateur career
who
right
knows?
now. And me and Matt will be, hey, 9 years from now, maybe still doing this and talking about him. It's going to be interesting.
It will because
the future of the UFC, and we're in it. We're in it.
Because I saw this tweet. It was like Sean Strickland really never was championship material. He goes into every fight not giving a shit. You know what I mean? Like I feel like people like Israel Adesanya, like
that's a champion.
He'll coast if he knows he's winning. Usman will coast if he knows he's winning. Sean Strickland will not. And I think we run through the champs real quick, and out of all the champs, I guess we could just kind of see who has the most potential to make a run. And starting at flyweight, Pantoja, I think he does, because I think if they kind of stop with all this rematch talk, I mean, this could obviously backfire very very severely on me if that Mohamed Mokaev dude.
Doesn't matter. He got 50-45 or no.
Oh, okay.
That guy.
Yeah,
that guy.
He's looking to get the next shot. But I would honestly love to see Pantoja and just the whole flyweight division in general. Stop it with all these rematches. We don't want to see Roval versus Pantoja 3.
I was gonna disagree with you and be like, nah, I think he's not necessarily on the tail end of his career, but he's a vet of the UFC. He's been in it a while.
Yeah.
He's already been in the guys he fought for the title for. He already fought. The guy
he was 5-0 against the last flyweight fight.
He just fought Brandon Royval. He already fought
and beat twice.
He already fought Moreno when he fought Moreno. I think I was gonna say that like he's aging and I don't know if he has much time, but now I'm looking at the whole division. I'm like, who's a young and up and comer in there? Besides
I guess
the guy
Mokaev.
So I agree with you.
That's interesting that they're pushing Mokaev up that much, but it also makes sense because it seems like every flyweight fight falls through, or it's a rematch.
If Mokaev gets fraud checked, then Pantoja can run it. But I think
So I'm glad if Mokaev gets it, just for the sole fact that I don't want to keep seeing all these rematches. And if Pantoja wins, I would want to see him, wreck that top 10.
Me too.
And just kind of make a little run. So I think he has some potential.
That's good. What's the next one? I think for sure. 100%.
Sean O'Malley is next.
Okay.
And Merab is scary. I'm not, like we were just saying, Merab is scary.
What are you saying about Sean O'Malley? I think 100%, but it's so scary, like you said. I think 100% because if he goes out here and now finishes Chito, we already saw what he can do against a amazing grappler, arguably the best bantamweight of all time, Aljamain Sterling. But what can he do against Merab's pressure grappling? We know he can get up from a takedown. We saw it in the Jan fight. We even saw it in the Alja fight for the one takedown he had, I believe. What is he going to do against someone who pushes the pace?
I think defense is going to be a big play in this. If he can just stop Merab from getting him down.
We already know O'Malley's takedown defense and getting up from the ground is so good. But what is he going to do against someone who does it twice as much as O'Malley or Aljamain? So if he knocks out Merab, I think he can sweep everyone else in the division. It's that Merab fight. So I think yes. Let's just get back Merab and then redo this, and then I'll be like yes. But
so that's going to be interesting because I like we said in our prediction, we see him beating Chito Vera and we see him fighting Merab. So next up we have featherweight Topuria, and I think he can go on a little something as long as he doesn't do something stupid and mess up his career.
He's 26.
People to potentially fight. We have Ortega. I could see him beating Ortega.
Ortega.
Topuria.
I could see him beating Ortega. I could see Ortega beating him, but I also could see him just flatlining Ortega.
There's people like Yair Rodriguez who
Holloway, I think, puts up a fight, but I think Topuria overall, because Max Holloway's already known for not getting a lot of finishes, guys, but he's also known as having the most significant strikes, and not only total strikes, but in a fight itself. But that also doesn't mean anything when you have one knockout in your last 10 fights and it's Korean Zombie. So I think I honestly think Max would not be afraid to tag with Taforia, but I think overall damage.
I think it'll be a war.
I don't think Max is getting knocked out, but I do think Taforia would do more damage to Max than Max
and get the nod and just.
Taforia is such like an interesting fighter. Like
I think right now he has the most potential to make a run
out of all the champions. And then what's that lightweight right now?
Lightweight is Islam, like
of course, but he's not active enough. What's going on? Why are active? We need an active.
Yeah,
champs.
I don't.
This makes me love guys like Israel Adesanya and who made us. Dude, they made us so fans.
To be honest,
it was like I didn't like Usman, and then by the time he was done with his championship run, I liked him, and then I watched him get knocked out, and I was like, wow. You don't respect them until they're damn near gone, man. And we got to start respecting these active ass champs because these one fights a year, or you're making it two. But
that's why we also have respect for Pereira because he fights.
Man.
Pereira fights as much as
dude. He's talking about going to 301. So Islam, yeah, you do, but I don't even know. You've been lightweight champ for over a year and you haven't beat a top 5 lightweight. That's insane. Well, Oliveira. Sorry. And it's not necessarily his fault.
But he hasn't defended against.
It's not necessarily his fault he didn't get the second fight. But still, man, fight.
That's why, if Poirier does lose, that's an interesting bout. Saint Denis is right up there. So then we have welterweight Leon Edwards. As much as I'm not gonna say I'm not a Leon Edwards fan. Like obviously, I'll probably be rooting for him.
I think yes.
But yeah, I could see.
Not active enough though.
Yeah, it's just like I just want to see active champions, man. Like,
but now all of a sudden we're giving.
It's almost like painful to not watch these people fight, and like they're so talented too. Like when you get your belt, that should almost say like you're in your prime. You know what I mean? And Leon Edwards, the third win the second win against Usman, and the third fight that they had, like the trilogy, where he just kind of got the decision. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah, it was cool.
Dude,
but
the thing about Leon is we have to give him the most respect we've ever given him, and then we can shut him on next pod just because his yes lineup to the UFC 300. I'm sure one of us made a post on it, but I heard it wasn't Gilbert Burns.
I think we said in the last podcast.
I heard it was
Hamzat.
Hamzat.
Maybe
it was not Bilal. I know it wasn't Bilal. Who was it?
I can't think of it.
Hamzat. Dude, there was 2 other big names, like huge names that were like, oh my gosh, he said yes. Shavkat, maybe? I think Shavkat might have been one of them. And then,
Hamzat, Shavkat, and
fuck, this guy's gonna get knocked out round 1.
But yeah, I think so. So Pereira we could see, Islam we could see, Edwards we could see,
and then maybe O'Malley.
Duplessis. Okay, maybe I was kind of wrong going in this. Like Duplessis, I could see him whooping some ass.
Dude, I think the UFC's honestly. I think we're so hesitant on so many fighters. We keep saying yes, but there's just.
I think it's just because we kind of just got over watching champions just get absolutely.
Well, I was gonna say that I don't think we're out of that stage yet. I think it's gonna happen for a little longer until a champion solidifies. Maybe Islam will stay, maybe Taforia, but honestly, or maybe it's gonna be the complete opposite. Maybe it'll be DDP that stays and whoever else. Yeah. I think
because realistically, everyone that we're saying one of them is gonna lose.
It's so unpredictable right now that like. I don't know. It's just we'll see.
And then we go to light heavyweight, and it's just as unpredictable as Pereira and Jamal
He's
Hill.
36 years old, but he's like.
So I feel like we just don't know enough about Jamal Hill. We know that Jamal Hill has the hands. We know that Jamal Hill has the durability as well, both on the ground and standing. And I mean, I'm a Jamal Hill fan, so I'm obviously kind of speaking out my heart a little bit. But if he beats Pereira, you know what I'm.
Dude, or if you're stoked for that fight.
If Pereira beats Hill, I could easily see him, running that division. But this is the thing: we don't know how much time Pereira has left, which obviously it's kind of sad, but at the same time, that's life. So we just gotta kind of enjoy that. Bro, we're watching Jake Paul absolutely go in on this like 35-year-old dude right now, and then that brings us to heavyweight. Super early in the pod, we were talking about how it's just the least entertaining division right now. And
heavyweight?
Yeah, I mean, we have a champion who we don't even know if he'll ever fight again. He says he wants to, but realistically, it doesn't look like he will. And we have an interim champ who thinks he's the champ and who thinks he can call out people and who thinks he can,
I respect him for calling out John Jones when he did, Tom Aspinall. Yeah. But
I have respect for Tom Aspinall. Don't get me wrong, but
embarrassing for him.
I don't think he should have that interim belt.
It was bad.
I think it should just been a fight.
Well, it was bad on Dana White's part, but I think it was. This is 8 rounds. Why can't you bet past round 6? He's about to call it.
Why did I bet decision? Bro,
Yeah,
Jake
guys,
Paul is
well,
just teeing off
he's
on
gonna
this
call
dude
it-
for like a minute straight. Bro. All right, so you would have won like $2. So Jake Paul just got another knockout. So guys, UFC 299, we're excited. You just heard our predictions. Let's just do a quick run through the main card. We got Peter Yan. We're going to be rocking with Kevin Holland for sure.
Kevin Holland, Peter Yan.
We're going to be rocking with Burns, Poirier, and O'Malley.
O'Malley.
So yeah, we're not sure what we're going to do next week in terms of podcast / video wise, because we're not going to be at this setup. We're going to be at a different setup. So I don't know if I really want to set all this up. So we might just bring the vlog camera, have some fun with the squad, and yeah,
Oof.
we're gonna see you guys, in the next episode. And
Thank you, guys.
next Friday is Ngannou versus
Let's
Joshua.
go.
So it's gonna be a nice weekend of fights for everyone. So I hope you guys enjoy the fights next weekend, and stay tuned with us for all the updates. And thank you guys for also all the support on the gram. We have been, growing. And
Thank you guys.
But more than the followers, you know what I mean? It's the people who, come back. You know what I mean? It's the people people in the broadcast channel, especially. Like, I feel like I never really show love on the pod to them. Those are the real ones. We got like 600 real fans, real supporters. And we love all 600 of y'all, but we also love all 67K now, which is insane.
Woohoo!
Because I feel like, there's followers and there's fans. Like, followers, those are the people that they want to see your stuff. But then there's the fans that they don't care what you post. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So, but we enjoy both of y'all's presence on our interwebs. But yeah, I'm just gonna stop rambling now. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you on episode 65, man. We're gonna catch up to pots of followers. Maybe not. We're on the brink of it. We're at 65 podcasts next week and 67.
We gotta grind.
So we gotta get to 70K quick before episode 70. All right, peace.